She was surrounded by algae and various water plants, which wrapped around her limbs, making movement more difficult than it already was. Underwater, the illumination of the fluorescent algae gave everything an even more surreal atmosphere. It almost felt like floating through space. Suddenly, she was grabbed by the leg and violently yanked downwards. The wasp was right below her, sword in hand. He moved much more swiftly underwater than her. The assassin did not waste any time attacking with his blade. Nephilim dodged, but was too slow. The sharp edge streaked her side, cutting right through her combat suit as if it were nothing but ordinary fabric, and into the flesh below. She felt a piercing pain, which she ignored. A gush of blood exited the wound and tinted the water red around her, contrasting eerily against the fluorescent plants. She looked around. The wasp was now in front of her, floating in the water elegantly like a dancer. Nephilim couldn't see her enemy's face, but she knew that he was looking her in the eye, preparing to give her the final blow. Perhaps he was grinning behind his mask. He lunged out. Instead of dodging or parrying, Nephilim grabbed his wrist and twisted it so sharply that it shattered. Wasps' limbs weren't made of titanium. Their bones were infused with polyethylene to be more flexible, which also made them vulnerable. The sword fell out of his hand, and countless little air bubbles exited from under his mask, indicating that he was screaming in pain. Nephilim didn't give him the chance to recover. She wrapped her other arm around his neck, squeezing tightly, and twisted his head with one forceful move. The cracking noise of his bursting spine was so loud that she could even hear it under the water. The body instantly slumped in her arms, and when she let it go, it floated lifelessly in the water, starting to sink. The helmet fell off, revealing that the assassin had actually been a woman, or rather, a young girl, younger than Nephilim from the look of her. With her yellowish eyes wide open, the young Asian face, and the long black hair floating around her, she looked innocent and unearthly as she slowly sank down into the green and blue illuminated depth, like a creature from a fairy tale, a beautiful, deadly creature.